It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling good, baby. 'Cause it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for we. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good, baby. Stars when they shine, you know how I feel. Scent of a pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm feeling good. Said I'm feeling good, baby. 'Cause it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Ah, ooh, well, and I'm feeling good, baby. 'Cause, yeah, baby, it's a new life for me.
Kind of like with lunch, we've got Lisa McKenzie here. Should I say from supremesocial.com?
Yeah.
That's your website, obviously. And you've also written the Parents and Grandparents Guide to Facebook, which is right there.
Well, that's the Facebook Guide for Parents, and you let out a secret. We're releasing another book shortly.
Okay. Well, we'll tell everybody about that secret whenever you want, Lisa. But what do you want to talk about first? Did you want to talk about Supreme Social?
No, I think I want to get right into the Facebook Guide for
Okay.
Parents, because I think that's really important to share with parents.
What's the
you know.
problem with Facebook? What do parents need to know about Facebook?
Facebook is an amazing tool to connect, but the problem, and I ran into it again yesterday, is that parents are still intimidated by Facebook. You know, there's 500 million people on Facebook,
Yeah.
yet parents still think it's a playground for kids. So they're intimidated by it. Their children, you know, spend hours and hours, and summer's coming up, so they're going to be spending even more time on Facebook, and the parents have no idea of the risks that are involved and how children really think that, you know, social means full exposure to the world. So they talk about everything and things that are really private.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
we're kind of changing from a more private culture to a more public and open
Much more open.
culture. And I mean, is that a problem, or is that just the way things are going? Or I mean, what kind of advice do you
Well,
what do you
think
tell
about it.
parents?
In most parents, you know, in our days, we used to be in our friends' basements, or, you know, girls used to hang out in, you know, our friends' bedrooms, and we used to tell secrets, and we used to, you know, talk about the boys, and Jeanette's like, yeah, I was there.
Slumber parties, they were the
Absolutely.
best.
And remember
Yeah.
those things, the things that we used to talk about? In those days, they were contained in those four walls.
Yeah.
And we never thought, well, you know, it's going to go out to the world. Now people, or I should say children, act the same way, but they do it on Facebook, completely unaware of all the eyeballs that are watching their going-ons. So that gets them into trouble. I mean, the risks are not only when they put too much information, identity theft. So, you're stealing an identity of a child. There's a lot you can do with that. Cyberbullying. And not only your child, making fun of someone, a teacher, a principal, an employer, another child in their class, but they could be victims of bullying. Again, parents think Facebook is a playground for, children. My kids keep telling me, get off Facebook, it's not for you. So they're completely unaware what's going on.
Even parents, even adults get into trouble on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like, it's this new tool, and we don't really know how to use it 100%.
No.
We don't know about all the risks or the opportunities that are there. But what can parents really do? Should they get on Facebook too?
Well, one of the things that we say, first sex, then drugs, and now Facebook. It's a talk that you have to have with your child. It really is. Social networking is to be done responsibly. And again, not too much information, having the respect for the people that you're talking to on Facebook, and really just being careful of your digital footprint. Now, that's a term that most people don't even know. Your digital footprint is everything that you write anywhere on the internet, not just on Facebook, will follow you forever. So, don't be surprised if, here's an interesting story. A 16-year-old boy, a friend of mine, found out that our company, Supreme Social, wrote this book, The Facebook Guide for Parents. So he said, why do you have to educate parents? What do they need to know? I said, well, we're not just educating parents, but we're educating teens as well. I said, do you have a job this summer? And he says, no, actually, I've placed a lot of CVs everywhere, but I don't have a job yet. I said, well, let's just take a couple of seconds and go through your Facebook profile. And then I pointed out all the things that he had written that, if I was hiring a frontline person, a person
Right.
in customer service,
Yeah.
and I looked at their profile and they used either profanities or, today sucks, I wish I didn't have to go to work. This
or
is
even
not
a
necessarily
picture with yourself drunk with your friends.
tons. And you know what? Creative expression. They're allowed to express themselves. We had diaries. The problem was, or I should say the great thing about it is nobody read our diaries. They treat
My mother
Facebook.
did. Yeah.
They treat
I know she did. Yeah.
they treat the Facebook wall like their diary.
That's
So,
true.
Number one thing, beyond having the talk with your child is go through their profile. And in the guide, we give really step-by-steps on how to secure their information. They want to put a picture of them drunk. They're 18 years old. There's nothing that you're going to do to avoid that. But make sure that their photo albums are secured and it's only seen by friends.
Or
So-
try not to look drunk in those pictures.
Yeah, that's impossible.
But what can a parent do then to really control some of these measures? So that the child may not realize that they're, like you say, it could mar them for life, right?
Absolutely.
It could. But the parent probably does. And then as a parent, a natural inclination is to protect our children,
Right.
Especially moms. And I'm not saying dads don't, but mothers are very protective. And what can they do? Can they monitor the amount of hours